And you know what? I can tell you for a fact, when you graduate, the quality of a doctor doesn't depend on the grade that you got in medicine. Like as long the passing grade is there so that it's the minimum required amount of like knowledge you need to have competency.
Yeah.
Welcome to Subcut, the podcast where we talk about things that get under the skin, the cutaneous layer, for people that are medically inclined. I like that one.
It's a bit slow.
Yeah, well, it's slow, no, but medically inclined is a good word. Anyway, my name is Justin Sung. I used to be a doctor.
I'm Niel. It's my 4th year in medical school this year.
So let's ask the question, can you have hobbies while studying medicine or being a doctor?
Yeah.
Let's start with a present. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. Make sure to like and subscribe. That's your answer.
See you later.
Well, let's talk about the misconception from that first, right? Most people, what do they think? They think that the general conception, I think, is that med students are really busy, doctors are really busy, they don't have time for anything.
You have to choose between what? Sleep, friends, and study.
Something like that, or work, or whatever it is.
Two of these three.
Yeah. And I don't know if I mentioned this before in a previous podcast, but that's only true if you're weak.
Yeah, right.
So the reality is that I suppose there's a bit of a selection bias because medicine, you get people that are a bit more onto it. So they're more, in a way, like able to manage themselves more effectively. But overwhelmingly, the answer is just yes, right? It's just very much so.
And it should be yes.
Yeah, and actually, I would almost go to say that medical students potentially and doctors potentially are more into hobbies than the normal person. I would say it's actually above average because, I mean, everyone
as a necessity almost.
As a necessity, but also because I think a hobby requires you to make time.
Sure.
And making time is almost a mindset and a skill in itself. And a lot of people don't like it. You can get sucked up into a mobile game for the whole evening or whatever. You know, you can get sucked up into something unless you make time. And medical students and doctors, I guess that they tend to be more like the type of people that will make time. Yeah. So I would say that it's much more common for me to meet a non-medical person that doesn't have, when I ask them, hey, what are your hobbies? They're like, oh, not really anything. Than to meet a medical person that doesn't have hobbies.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so you spend, like, how many hours a week would you say that you spend on hobbies or side things outside of medicine?
Well, probably more so than I spend studying, or more so than I should at least. Yeah.
Majority.
Yeah,
right? Like, honestly,
I spend a fair bit of time in it.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy it and it feels good.
Yeah. And you can study enough and actually know your stuff. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop you from, and you know what? I can tell you for a fact, when you graduate, the quality of a doctor doesn't depend on the grade that you got in medicine. Like, as long the passing grade is there so that it's the minimum required amount of like knowledge you need to have competency.
Yeah.
If you're competent, you just learn on the job. You just get good at it. So I also, when I was in, sort of second, third, fourth year, I was spending at minimum 10 hours a week on hobbies. In fourth year, when it was clinical and I'm in hospitals, it was a little bit harder. When I was second and third year, 30, 40 hours a week, I'd be spending on hobbies.
30, 40? Yeah. I'd say I'd be about 10, at least like 20.
Yeah. I mean, second and third year, what was I doing? I was going to the gym.
Yeah.
That's like
an
hour, 2 hours, 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah.
So that's already there is like 10 hours.
Yeah.
I was dancing usually twice a week. That was around 6 or 7 hours on top of that. And then I was tutoring as well. For just the tutoring was like 20 to 30 hours a week.
Yeah.
So already that's beyond 40, right? So the amount of time that you actually spend on medicine and being a doctor and stuff is just, when you make time for it, you will spend time on a lot of things. So if you're wondering about not going to medicine because you're not going to have time for hobbies or things like that, that's not the worry. The worry should be that you're unable to make time for that, in which case you're going to struggle
in the future.
Yeah,
when you really need to.
In the immediate future.
Yeah,
as in straight away from second year, you'd struggle.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, imagine going through all of second year and all you did is study. How
it's
miserable would your life be?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you'd be such a non-balanced human being.
Right.
No one would look at you and think they're going to be a great doctor.
Yeah.
You know what I hate? I hate Korean dramas about medical people because they always paint this. They paint this like, okay, so I tried to kind of watch certain like Korean dramas, and I just can't because it's so unrealistic, and especially medical ones. And one of the reasons is because their idea of like the best doctor is one that is like photographic CT scan vision, you know?
And isn't that show like The Good Doctor or something like that?
But he's like, I can't remember what his thing is, but he's
I think he's like autistic.
Autistic or like high functional Asperger's or something like that. But he has something, and he's like humanly not really relatable at all. Right. But he has like awesome diagnostics. It's like, you know what else has diagnostics? An MRI.
A computer.
Screw this person who is like
Google.
Yeah, it's like
3 hours to live.
It's so absurd, you know, the way it's painted. And actually, there's this drama that the whole synopsis is like, you've got 2 doctors. One of them is really smart, but the other one has really good people skills.
Right.
That's the synopsis of the drama. And it's like, oh my God, the doctor has great people skills. And it's just like, are you kidding me? Like, there's so much focus on developing people skills.
Yeah.
So actually, and that's a public perception as well, right? Is that doctors are only taught the medical side of things. You know, they don't get taught about communicating and stuff like that. But it's like, that's so not.
That might have been the case before, though.
That was definitely the case OG days. Yeah. You know?
And some of those guys are moving out of the system now.
Some of those guys are dying now. You can see because, you know, you'll be at work, and then there'll be a particular surgeon or a consultant, and you'll just think like, holy shit, I can't believe I have to come to work to deal with your damn personality problems and have to defer to you just because you don't know how to not be right. Or something, like, you know, like...
Did you do the MMI?
yeah, you weren't interviewed. You got in because your dad owns the trust. Yeah. So, you know, there's a lot of people that were in the OG days, and a lot of the culture and the mindset about what medicine is still around there. In bad ways as well, in that, you know, things have changed now. They're a lot more protocolized. As medicine becomes safer for the patient, it becomes, I guess, in a way more boring for the doctor because it's more algorithmic. There's more protocols and plans in place. It's less kind of problem solving. It's, you know, so, you know, that romanticization of medicine is also old school days. Yeah. But, you know, the point is that doctors are actually very quite well-rounded people. Right. And they make time for hobbies and things like that. And most medical students and most doctors will have a lot that they do in their spare time. Yeah. And only a small amount of them has their major hobby as being an alcoholic. So that's great.
So, sure. Yeah.
So, you know, I think it's, if you're, you know, this episode's really, I guess, more for the younger students who have all these misconceptions about medicine and what being a doctor is like. But actually, if you're willing to learn how to balance your time and stress and be a balanced person, you can really be. You can do everything you really want to do. And still be a doctor. Right.
And I feel like making that decision to go into medicine as well, like I've heard several other consultants say this, and I think myself say this as well, like it is, to some extent, is a full-time gig. And but take that with a grain of salt as well, because that doesn't mean that you have to shove everything else aside in your life. When I was like thinking of going into medicine as well, like there were a few other things that I would have liked to do as well, but I went with the option of medicine. Thankfully made it in, and I admit I did feel like I was locked into this system where I'm going to be doing nothing else but medicine for the next 6 years, and then only once I finish that, then I can do something else. Oh, wait a second, no, I can't. I'm going to be working 90-hour weeks from that point. Okay, maybe I can try something else. Oh, probably not. I might have to, you know, like start thinking of family, maybe housing stuff. Like at that point, it's already too late. So just start now as well.
Yeah, you can do anything. You have all autonomy to take any direction.
Yeah. And as like a personal example for me, like I was always super interested in space and astronomy and astronautics in that way. And it seemed pretty bizarre to like pursue that, but in the past year, like I've really like gone for it as well.
Yeah. So you've set up your I can't remember what you've ended up calling it.
Yeah. So I went to another conference in Melbourne. And met with some other Australian medical students over there. Also, so it's on aerospace medicine, which is like a very, very niche field already within medicine. Super niche.
I never even thought about it.
Right. But like look at what's happening right now around the world in terms of the developments in space technology and stuff right now.
Yeah.
And it's going to be something that is popping up in our future, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, that's actually true.
And like
that's
people always think like, why are we spending so much money and stuff with this space stuff and stuff? Like, where's your phone? Like, whip your phone out and ask the question like, where did this actually come from? How do we go from making a building-sized computer, because that's what it was at around the Apollo missions and stuff, to this thing that we hold in our hand right now, which is actually more powerful than the 1969 mission to the moon.
Yeah.
Like, this is all through advancements through space and stuff that we can get to this position here. Medical advancements stuff. The whole MRI machines, I think it was, or maybe CT scans, I can't remember. But like, there's been heaps of advancements in this way as well. But like, anyway, I'm going through my own tangent that way as well, but I'm really passionate about it. And if you are passionate about something, then actually try it. And okay, so when I was sort of thinking of pursuing the pathway of astronomy or like at least physics and stuff in that way, I was probably like 12 at that time. And I was telling mum like, yeah, this is really cool. I really want to do something like this. She's like, come on, like, be realistic. First of all, you want to be an astronaut. Okay, cool. Just because your name's Niel and Neil Armstrong is there as well. I admit that was a motivating factor. Second of all,
not even spelt the same.
It's not even spelt the same. Second of all, you're in New Zealand as well, and it's like it's such a like an unheard of thing. Like, sure, shoot for the stars and stuff, but like maybe just under the stars.
Shoot for the stars, but aim but like land
for the
on
sky,
school.
maybe. Yeah, land on medical school.
Land in the hospital.
So that's what I did. Really, I started looking towards medical school, and I said, okay, like same, like I'm super interested with the curiosity behind it and everything like that, and I can help people. Woo. Got into that, and now I started looking a bit more, and I'm like, great, I'm here, but I'm still really, really keen on this stuff, and so. I actually started from watching a movie, and it can happen from that. Like, inspiration can come at the most unexpected times as well. And it was through First Man. I'm not sure if people have, people like First Man as well. Yeah. Super cool movie about the first mission to the moon, or not first mission to the moon, moon landing. And that just got ingrained in my head. And next thing you know, I emailed the New Zealand Space Agency. I started I had some conversations with an almost astronaut, Dr. Sarah Kessens. But yeah, shout out to you. Anyway, and so with that, and then after that, went to some conferences overseas, and like bit by bit, I was never expecting my year to pan out in the way that it did, but like take it wholeheartedly, because if you really, really enjoy it and it's going to be worthwhile, then actually like do it.
Yeah, no, I think the barrier for a lot of students to actually do that is going to be I guess it's intimidating.
Yeah.
To emailing whoever you emailed, talking to people, going to a conference overseas. I mean, for me, like I've been to a conference overseas, and it's this amazing experience. So I always recommend people to do it. I think I'd really strongly encourage you to go to that conference, actually. Yeah. The one in Melbourne.
Right. Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of barriers that people will kind of feel about that. I don't know if it's just because they're going to be lazy, or if it's they just feel intimidated by it. But I guess the moral of the story is that it's just worth. It's just worth it. It's just worth facing that intimidation and just doing these things, because what you find on the other side might be so fulfilling, and you're obviously really passionate about it.
Right. And it might come to the stage of like uncertainty, and uncertainty is crippling even for me. I can completely understand that in that way as well. But like take it step by like this year as well. We started our student association. We call ourselves SAMSA, Society of Aerospace Medicine Students for Australasia. Big acronym, but like I was not expecting to walk away from that conference and start that first of all. I mean, I had the intentions here and there, but it wasn't going to be this like big official and like official and stuff with our parent organization and other medical students who are also interested in this stuff. But like some of the most amazing stuff happens when you least expect it as well. And in those moments, like it's okay, like take it. Yeah. And stuff. Yeah. And this is sort of going to the hustle sort of thing, but like it's a hobby at the end of the day as well, and you do something with it. Like I play your ukulele. I started learning ukulele earlier this year.
Great.
You do anything you want. It's so fun.
Yeah, I strongly encourage everyone to pick up a hobby. Yeah. Ukuleles are a cheap hobby. If there's any
$40
ukulele companies watching us, please sponsor us.
We have a guitar there. Yeah, we do.
No. Speaking of which, I think it's a good time to thank the sponsors that we have for the show.
Oh.
We've actually got sponsors for this.
We legit?
Yeah, me.
Oh.
So I feel very grateful.
Great.
For sponsoring this show.
Thank
Anyone that wasn't watching the video, I got a pat on the back.
Yeah, that was what the sound was.
Felt very deserving
Great.
of that. Anyway, thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time.
Cheers.
Thanks for tuning in to Subcut. If you guys have any suggestions for content, please make sure you send it through.
You can get in touch and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, or find us on our website at jttmid.com/subcut.
Subcut is a podcast brought to you by JTT. If you or anyone you know is interested in a career in medicine, make sure to get in touch and check us out at jttmid.com.